Good morning, everybody. We had a question about some books that might be useful for beginners when you are starting to turn your property into something other than mowed grass. And so I just thought I'd show you in the easiest way possible some of the books that we use. And I know there's a lot of books on these shelves, but these have been accumulating over the years. And I just thought I'd give you a quick glimpse, and maybe it might offer some help to those of you that want it and inspiration to others, and just a little bit of look into maybe how Steve and I got where we are. So we both have this incredibly innate love of nature, obviously. It is everything to us. This planet holds us and offers us everything we need to survive. And so we both separately started with just field guides. And I would say one of them that we both started with was Newcomb's Wildflower Guide. And we both did it on our own, and it's a wonderful wildflower book because it's got a dichotomous key inside. And if you don't know about dichotomous keys, there are these really awesome like little puzzles so that you can follow a trail and figure out what plant you're seeing. And so our journey for what we're doing here began with a lot of just discovery of this natural world that we live in. And so these field guides helped us to learn a little bit more about who is here, who are we seeing, and then it just gets to be so exciting. You correctly identify or figure out one animal or plant, and then you just can't wait to figure out the next one, and then you learn about their amazing life history, and it's just, you can't stop. And so that's really what started us on this journey. And then when I worked for the Fort Wayne Parks Department in Fort Wayne, I worked with a woman named Becky, and she's now Rebecca Meyer instead of Becky Crosby, but she got into butterfly gardening, and that was the first time that I realized, wow, you can plant certain plants and attract certain kinds of insects, specifically caterpillars in that case. And then we read Bringing Nature Home by Doug Tallamy, and that's really one of the books that laid the groundwork for, yes, planting native plants attracts all kinds of insects, which feeds all kinds of other life forms. So I would definitely recommend that book. I'll just scan across the top here and pull out any. So we've definitely been into some homesteading plants, and then homesteading adventures, I should say. But over here we're getting into some books by Xerces Society. That is a invertebrate nonprofit, and they have wonderful publications. So they have books, they have free online articles. So Xerces is XERCES, and if you just go to xercessociety.org, I believe it is, they'll come up, or if you just Google them if I got that wrong. We use them a ton for figuring out land management and different things to plant. So I would highly recommend you go look at them. And Heather Holm, of course, has some wonderful bee books out. This book right here is a really cool one for woodland medicinals. And of course, you don't always have to think about using them as medicinal plants, but they're really helpful for thinking about how to grow them or propagate them if that's what you want to do. Okay, we'll jump down a shelf. I looked at that one a lot. Let's see. One of my favorites is this book right here. Tracks and Signs of Insects. Charlie Eisman, Noah Charney. So that one is really fascinating because if you see any kind of sign on plants that you don't know who it's from, you can look in here and oftentimes you'll find it. And so a lot of what we think about here is growing native plants to attract insects. And this is what I said earlier, because then you're going to be supporting all types of life, because everything is eating plants, eating insects, and then on up the food chain. So if you can get fascinated by all life forms and really want to encourage them and say, oh, that insect's eating that plant, and this type of bird eats this type of insect or whatnot, and not freak out when a tree gets defoliated by native caterpillars. Just know that what we've seen here is that almost always balances out. So here's some more, a lot of plant books, since plants are so foundational to the food web. Vernal Pool book, that one rules if you love vernal pools. It's a great reference book. It's kind of heavy, but also so exciting. We have soil books because, you know, soil really is, I guess, the true foundation, and Steve's a soil scientist, and that boy knows way more about soil than I do, that's for sure, but I have such an appreciation for soil. Here's some growing books and biology. This one is a great one. It's another Talamy book that he did with Rick Dark, and that gives you some ideas for design as well. So there's design in a lot of books, and you can pay attention to that. We don't really do much in terms of design now, just because we've realized plants are going to want to grow where they want to grow, and we are not going to spend the time fighting where they want to grow because we want to do other things. We just really want to witness the incredible beauty nature has to offer and the relationships among the different life forms. So that's what we do, and then we go out into the world and witness more wildness, because that's where our hearts are. So this is just a glimpse. So if you're just getting started, definitely check out Xerces Society and check out Doug Talamy's books and any kind of field guide. Just start getting enthused about the life that's around you, and then you'll learn their natural history, their life natural history, and then you can see what you can do to enhance those features that they need to survive in terms of food, water, shelter, and space. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I hope this was helpful, and if you all have any favorite books that is helpful for others to encourage life back to your house or to explore out in the big wide world, let us know in the comments.